Okay, guys, I'm back with our Junibee today, and Junibee had trouble with her assignment, didn't she? Didn't understand it, but I think she understood it, but she just didn't know what words she was using. She was a little bit confused on those words, wasn't she? Because one letter can change a word, right? Clock, cluck. All right, we're on chapter 5, Bug Bag, and she's writing in her journal again today, and it's on a Tuesday, okay? Dear first grade journal, Mr. Scary just called me in from recess. All the other children are still playing out there. He said for me to write in my journal for a minute and he will be with me soon. I keep peeking at him from behind these pages. He is printing sentences on the board. It is extra work for me, I think. I do not actually approve of this. From Junibee Jones, first grader. Mr. Scary put down his marker. You can stop peeking at me now, Junibee, he said. I looked at him real surprised, 'cause that guy has eyes in the back of his hair, I think. He turned around and smiled. Do you see these 3 sentences that I just wrote up here, he asked. Yes, I said, I see them. Excellent, said Mr. Scary. Could you stand up and try reading them from back there, please? Just then my heart got pumpy and pounding inside, 'cause I'm not good at reading from the board, that's why. I kept on sitting there. Please, said Mr. Scary, just give it a try, okay? Finally I stood up and I squinted at the sentences. Now what does squinted mean? There she is, there's Mr. Scary. What's Junibee's problem, guys? I read real slow. Bob is a bug bag. I read. I did a teensy frown at that news. Really? I asked. Bob is a bug bag? Mr. Scary pointed to the sentence number 2. Try this one, he said. Well, I squinted some more. I like my hog spit. I read again. I looked at my teacher very curious. These sentences are oddballs, aren't they? I said. Mr. Scary pointed to the last one. Just one more to go, he said. This time I stretched my neck and I strained my eyes. Jack is going to I scrunched my eyes even smaller. Oh, to jail? I read. I did a gasp. Really? No fooling. Jack who? Mr. Scary came back to my seat and he took my hand and he walked me closer to the board. Could you try reading them again from here, Junibee, he said. I'd made my voice real whiny, but I don't want to read them again, Mr. Scary. I told him I already know what they say. Just one more time, he said. And so finally I did a big breath, and I read the sentences all in a row. Bob is a big boy. I like my dog Spot. Jack is going to Jill's. I covered my mouth, very surprised. Hey, what do you know? He's going to Jill's, Mr. Scary. I said, whew, that's a relief, right? Mr. Scary laughed. Right, he said, and after that I headed for the door. Okie doke, well, I guess I'll be getting back to recess now, I said. See ya. I waited for him to answer. He did not say see ya. I turned around. See ya? I said a little bit softer, but Mr. Scary just shook his head no. 'Cause too bad for me, he had other plans. Mr. Scary took my hand and we walked out of room 1 and down the hall. You and I are going to go visit Miss Weller, Junibee, he said. You remember Miss Weller from last year, don't you? I shook my head no, 'cause that name did not ring a bell. Mostly I would just like to remember recess, I said. Mr. Scary patted my shoulder. Mrs. Weller is a lovely person, he said. Recess is a lovely person too, I said. Mrs. Weller is the school nurse, he said. I quick stopped walking. Because the school nurse is where you go when you are sick or tired, and I was totally fine. But I'm in good shape, I said. See me? I don't even need a Band-Aid. Mr. Scary smiled, and he pulled me along again. Of course you're in good shape, Juniby, he said, but Mrs. Weller does a lot of nice things besides giving out Band-Aids. Just then we walked into Mrs. Weller's office, and guess what? I remembered her perfectly well. I just never knew she had a name before. Why, Juniby Jones, she said. What a nice surprise to see you again. It's a surprise to see you too, I said, because I'm not even sick or tired, plus also I'm supposed to be on the playground right now. Mrs. Weller laughed out loud, only I didn't actually know why. After that, she and Mr. Scary whispered real quiet to each other, and then finally Mr. Scary patted my shoulder. I'm going to leave you with Mrs. Weller for a while, Juniby, he said. The two of you are going to play a game with her eye chart, okay? There they are talking. All of a sudden, my stomach felt kind of jumpity, 'cause playing a game with the nurse did not sound fun. No, I said in my head, not okay. Mr. Scary waved. See ya, he said, and I watched him go, and I did not say, see you back. Okay, chapter 6 is the E-game. I sat in my chair next to Mrs. Weller's desk, and she asked me lots of questions. First, she asked me how I liked my summer vacation, and then she asked me how I liked first grade and how I liked Mr. Scary. That is called stall talk, I believe. Finally, Miss Weller stood up. Have you noticed the eye charts I have hanging on my wall, Juniby? She asked, and she pointed at them. Eye charts are posters that help us test your eyesight, she explained. I have 2 different kinds. See, one has alphabet letters on it, and the other one right next to it is filled with funny E's. That one's called an E-chart. I looked at that funny thing. Take a look at what an E-chart looks like. See the uppercase E's everywhere. Just turned different. Whoa, I said. Those are the craziest E's I ever saw. They are backwards and forwards and upside down. You're right, said Mrs. Weller. The E's are all mixed up, aren't they? And today you and I are going to play a game with those mixed up E's. It's called the E-game. After that, Miss Weller got a little paper cup, and she showed me how to hold it over one of my eyes. We're going to be testing each of your eyes separately, she said. While one eye is hiding under the cup, the other eye will play the game, okay? I shrugged my shoulders, because what choice did I have? Mrs. Weller showed me where to stand to play the E-game, and then she went back to the E-chart. All right, she said. Now, each time I point to one of these E's, I want you to tell me the direction it's facing. Are you ready, Juniby? I shrugged again, and then I hid one eye behind the cup, and Miss Weller pointed to the first E. I pointed my finger up. That one is facing up at the ceiling, I told her. Good, she said. Excellent. I felt a little better inside. Miss Weller pointed to the next E. And here they are. Okay. Back it up a little bit. Do you remember when Nurse White did this with you? I don't know if it was an E-chart, but she checked your eyes. I turned my finger down to the floor. That one's facing down, I said. Miss Weller smiled and nodded. I stood up taller because this wasn't as hard as I thought. After that, the nurse kept on pointing at more E's, and I kept on telling her which way they were facing. Right, left, down, left, up. I stopped and grinned. Hey, what do you know? I'm a breeze at this game, right, Miss Weller? Right, right? I said. Miss Weller winked at me. We're almost done, she said. Only a few more E's to go, and she pointed to a new row of them. There was a fuzzy smudgy next to her finger. Whoops, I said. What happened there? Did someone spill something on your chart? Miss Weller did a little frown, and she kept pointing at the smudgy. Can you tell me anything about this mark at all, Juniby? She said. Yes, I said. It's a smear ball. Miss Weller moved her finger over a little bit. What about this mark? Can you tell me anything about this one? I stared and stared at that thing. That one's a toughie, I said. Finally, Miss Weller came over to me. That's fine, she said. You did just fine, Juniby. And after that, we played the same game with my other eye. And guess what? I saw 3 more smudgies and a smeary. After I was done, I sat down in the chair again. Miss Weller said I needed glasses. I do not like Miss Weller. Uh-oh, poor Genevieve doesn't like Miss Weller. Oh, Miss Weller is there to help her, isn't she? Okay, guys, tomorrow we're going to finish up Juniby as a first grader. It's our last one. And I hope you've enjoyed them all. She's a fun girl. She reminds me a lot of some of you guys. Okay, I'll see you in the morning, okay? Bye, guys.